Good morning, TPC Boston membership. Yesterday, me and Don were eating some lunch, and it occurred to me that he didn't know how to make pizza dough. I asked him,
How did you figure out that I didn't know?
I don't know, I made pizza for lunch, and he goes, Chef, you make this pizza dough? I said, absolutely. He goes, I buy mine from Bertucci's. And so I said to myself, Don, you love cooking?
Yep.
So let's kind of teach you how to do some different things and take it to the next level, and hopefully I like to play golf, so you can teach me a couple things during the season.
I think that's a good plan. So while it's snowing outside right now, I don't know how to make my own dough. We're going to make a little bit of a series out of this. Today we're going to make some ricotta gnocchi and then do a few other things over the rest of the winter here. And once we get the golf course open, we're going to flip the script from me learning how to cook to us teaching Chef how to play golf. So everybody's going to win, and hopefully y'all get a little bit of something out of it and enjoy the process. All right, so what do we got going on, Chef?
So, Don, we have a couple ingredients here today. Super easy ricotta gnocchi recipe. We have 9 ounces of 00 gnocchi flour. We have 1.5 ounces of shredded fresh Parmesan cheese. We have 6 ounces of ricotta. So this has been drained. We have 3 eggs for each of our recipes, so we'll both be completing a recipe. We have some whole nutmeg and salt and pepper.
Love it.
Really simple. So we're going to start this recipe out by breaking our 3 eggs, lightly whisking them with a fork, trying not to get any shell in there. I don't know if you can handle that, Don.
I can try.
All right.
Do you hit it on the counter here?
Yeah. Just a nice one, just like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then
no shell.
No shell, baby.
One for one.
I got a little shell in here. It's always the last one that gets you. So a little trick with the shell, instead of sticking your fingers in there, see how there's a little shell in there? You're going to get the whole shell itself.
Okay.
And you're going to go in there, and you're just going to catch that little shell, and the shell will stick to the shell.
Oh.
So now we have no. Oh, Don, you did better than me, man.
That's not, yeah, but I got a little on the counter, but we're
That's all right.
What we got these for?
You'll be good to go.
Okay.
So this is the utensil of choice for making pasta. Nice little fork. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a nice circular motion, and we're just going to whisk the eggs down like this, brother. Like that. Right? So you're going to go like this. You're just going to finger out. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You have a little bit more control.
Yeah.
While you're whisking the eggs. And so we're just going to lightly whisk these so the yolks are broken. They're well incorporated with the whites. And so this is ready to go. So as you can see, it's a nice...
A little more in there?
Yeah, a little more. Nice yellow color.
Nice even consistency?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Beautiful. So now those are mixed. I'm going to come over here with our flour.
Okay.
Flour down on the table. I'm going to create a nice well.
Something like this?
Yep.
Okay.
So we need the well to hold the eggs.
Gotcha.
All right. We're going to get our eggs. We're going to slowly pour them in. And so as you pour, you might have to
re-well.
Yep. Just kind of form up the sides of your well like a little volcano.
All right.
And I can take that bowl from you.
Thanks, Chef.
You're very welcome.
All right.
So now moving on, we're just going to take some pinch of salt, pinch of pepper, and kind of a little flavor punch. We're going to get the nutmeg. We're just going to shave a little nutmeg.
Okay.
Right on there. And this ingredient, if you don't have it, don't worry about putting it in. It just kind of gives you a little bit more of that baking spice flavor throughout the gnocchi.
We got to do it right, Chef.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody wants to know.
I'm with the Italian guy.
I know. And I don't even know how to make my own gnocchis.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
You're going to be making gnocchis all the time.
My wife's going to be so proud of me.
Yes, I love it. So we're going to grab our fork, and we're just going to slowly kind of whisk, just like we whisked the eggs alone. We're just going to whisk them together. And we just want the flour to kind of absorb the eggs.
Oh, God.
So,
oh no. This is why we can't have
That's
golf
okay.
pros in the
That's
kitchen.
right. You know, egg. This recipe is very forgiving. So I'm just gonna come over here. Another good one that we have here is a
All
bench
right.
scraper. So we'll be able to
recover
all of this, which is fine. So we're just gonna kind of fold this in. So Don, continue to fold that.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna continue whisking over here.
The proper way to do it.
Don kind of jumped a step, but it's all right, you know, because this is a recipe that's very forgiving, and it's one that is great for beginners who want to cook in the kitchen or experts that are looking to do something a little different. So as we whisk, you can kind of see how that's forming into a ball almost.
Yeah.
It's kind of absorbing the flour. And same here, we're absorbing. Another thing, it's always good to have some flour on the side. So we have an extra bowl of flour here that'll kind of help us through this. All right. So we're going to be all done with the forks. You're going to be all done with that bench scraper.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to kind of press everything together with our hands. Now, we both washed our hands before we started this, but always good practice to be in to wash your hands before you start any cooking. So just kind of press it all together so you form it. All right. So you're kind of forming that drier portion of the dough. And so we don't want to form it too much. The less you mix this dough, the better.
Okay.
All right. So now that we have this, so you can kind of see it's like a crumbly consistency.
Yeah.
You following there? So nice crumbly consistency there. So now at this point, we're going to get our ricotta cheese.
Okay.
So all the ricotta cheese in there. And just we're going to lightly mix this together with the ricotta cheese, and it gets very sticky. The good thing about this dough, if you feel like it's too difficult to work with, you can add more flour. But the wetter this dough is, the fluffier your gnocchi come out.
Okay.
You know, if you have a very dry dough, you're going to be left with those gnocchis that are like bombs in your stomach. You like eat them and you want to take a nap.
Yep.
You know, we don't want lead pipes. We don't want lead pipes. We want a nice, and you can kind of see how this is sticking to our hands.
Yep.
And it's always good. You know, some people wear gloves, but then the gloves get very difficult to mix the dough with when you're wearing them. And
now, do you always make these by hand, Chef?
Always make them by hand. Always. They just come out better. And as you can see, like, Don, on yours, you can kind of see how it's loosely mixed.
Yep.
Right? So now,
which is what we want, right?
That's exactly what we want.
Okay.
So we're going to kind of spread it out.
Oh, it's sticking nice.
It's really sticky. So you can just kind of get it, take it off your hands. We can dip our hands in this bowl of flour right here, just like that.
To be able to work it a little better.
Yeah. And you're just going to kind of go like this. That. And you can do it again as well. Just
to get it drier.
Yeah, like this. Let me show you. So you're gonna go like this. Open your hand up.
Oh yeah. Now we can work it a little bit.
Now you can work it, right?
Yep.
So kind of form it just like that. And, you know, I get fun sometimes when I'm making these at home. I'll form it in some shapes. My boys are always like, "Dad, try to make a car." And so it's like I've tried to make a car out of the gnocchi dough. It doesn't really work out, but it's always fun to try. So now that we have this spread out, we're going to get our Parmesan cheese. All right, just dump it right in there. And Don, I can take your bowls. Take all this.
Clean workstation.
Clean workstation is key. All right, so now we're going to just get in here. We'll just fold it over. Get in on the flour.
Yep.
Your first time, you might have to use extra flour to make them. But that's all right, because as you make these, they're just going to get easier. The consistency is going to get lighter. And you'll be able to form a nice dough ball.
Nice pillows?
Yep, very nice pillows. It's pillows that you could take a nap on, you know?
My kind of pillows.
But not a stomach bomb nap. A nice light nap. All right, so we're gonna get in here. We're just gonna kind of roll this over. So as you kind of get in there, let me give you a little hand on. Yeah, let me see your hands.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see the other one. Let me see some of this over here. All right, get it on there. All right, perfect. I'm just gonna go like this as we go through.
Okay.
All right, so you kind of see how that dough is forming.
Yep.
And then you can get this bench scraper. You can go like
Get
this.
everything all in there.
Yep. And right on there. All right. So get in there. Kind of mix it for another like 2 to 3 minutes. Clearing all the excess flour off your hands, all the excess
Yeah, and I can
dough.
move it now.
Yeah, you see how
Yep.
how it's forming
Yeah,
up nice.
I was like too cakey.
Yeah. So as you move it, as you're working this, the flour does create gluten on its own. You can let this rest and it'll become glutinous, which is nice, or you can just kind of roll through it and just keep on working it, and you'll be good. So right now, mine is just about ready to be rolled. How's yours feel?
It feels pretty good now.
Right, nice little dough.
Yeah, you can actually work it and control it.
So real time, we've been mixing this dough for about 10 minutes. All right.
Okay.
So now let's get this. I'm gonna come over here and we're just gonna kind of
Clean up pass.
Yep, clean it up just like that, just a little bit. And then we're gonna walk over to the sink. We're gonna wash our hands to get the rest of the caked up flour off of our hands. All right.
That's good.
All right. So nice looking dough, Don, right here.
All right.
So the way we're gonna form these gnocchis, we're kind of gonna do them the lazy man way. We're not gonna do all the steps to rolling them. Just I don't feel like everyone's gonna do that at home. So we're just gonna kind of roll to the pillows. So we're gonna get a floured pan. Right. And we're gonna do a little slice.
Okay.
So I have about that much. So this is the hardest process of this.
Okay.
All right. So you're gonna get your hands, open palms, and you're gonna roll. So open palms.
Yep.
And roll. And you want this as even as possible. And then a lot of times, you won't even have to add any more flour to this. So now at this point, nice, Don.
It's getting there.
This looks like a golf grip.
It's nice and loose.
Nice and loose. Let's go. So now we have this log of gnocchi dough. So we're gonna get our cutter.
Just a little in the middle here.
I always like to flour the cutter just a little bit. And we're gonna come through. And so with your fingers, you're gonna pinch it, and then you're moving back, you use your fingers to guide the size.
Okay.
All right. So as you go through, you don't have to be perfect. You can always add a little flour if they're sticking to the cutter.
Whoa, look at that.
So thousands of gnocchis have been made in here. So I've gotten very fast at it. And then what you do is you just kind of after you cut them, you toss them in a little flour and right on the pan.
Oh yeah.
So now at home, you'll have a smaller pan. You can put these right on the pan. You can throw them right in the freezer. So Don, your turn.
Okay. Pinch and go.
Pinch and go.
I'm not gonna be as fast as Chef.
That's okay. Look at that size, Don. Those are perfect.
Is that all right?
Yes. And so this recipe works for about 8 people. So you can have gnocchi dinner for 8 guests at your house.
Or my wife and I can have gnocchi dinner 4 days in a row.
4 days in a row. Or you can freeze them and you can have you know, 6 meals of gnocchis for 2 people.
Love that.
So it'll be great. It all depends on how many you want to eat too. So if you want to go lighter on the gnocchis and heavier on, you know, whatever else, you know, you can zest some truffles into this if you got them.
Ooh.
You can do all different kinds of cheese. I've made cheddar gnocchis, which is fun. You can put some soft herbs in there, parsley, basil. You could definitely like have a lot of fun making this gnocchi recipe.
Yeah, you just get a little variations of it all.
Absolutely. Nice. And so now, if you're making these and freezing them, you want to make sure that they're kind of loose. You kind of roll the pan around, and then you put them right in your freezer flat. They freeze in about a half an hour, so you'll be good to go.
Interesting.
And, yeah, freeze very, very quickly. And the way I store them here, I'll have them in a fish bucket. And, yeah, so I make them, freeze them. So really IQF them so they're individually quick frozen.
Yep.
Break them off the pan, and then we put them right in the fish bucket. They'll last you for 2 weeks if you want to eat them fast. It'll last you 6 months if you just want to have them in there. They don't get freezer burned. There's not a lot of moisture in this dough, so it's a really versatile dough. Really lasts long.
Love it. Well, thanks, Chef. We'll
You're welcome.
what are we gonna make it?
We're gonna make some pasta. We're gonna make some gnocchis with roasted garlic, gnocchis with toasted garlic, white wine.
Okay.
Some cherry tomatoes and a little chicken stock.
Okay. Well, stay tuned for the final product. Chef, you're the man. Thanks
You're
for
the man,
teaching
Don.
me.
Absolutely.
Let's keep it going.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
Y'all. All right. Do we keep?
Welcome to part 2 of our video. So we're going to be making a super simple gnocchi dish. I'm not sure if anyone has stainless steel pans at home. I know nonstick pans are a big thing, and you know, I personally like the pans, stainless steel. You know, really nice. Everyone always tells me, "Hey, chef, why don't your stainless steel pans stick?" It's because you're not heating them up all the way. If you heat this,
gotta get it hot enough.
if you heat this pan up, so as soon as the oil hits it, it'll spread out and get really hot. Nothing will ever stick to this pan. So we're going to start out by dropping our gnocchis.
Okay.
And so, Don, if you want to grab a nice handful of gnocchis. So what we're going to do here is we're going to grab a nice portion of gnocchis. We have some boiling water going on. Now, we just made these, so they're going to cook extremely fast. So nice portion of gnocchis right in the boiling water. We can see that our pan is nice and hot. So we're going to grab a little oil.
Now, how long do these got to go in there for, Chef? How do you
So
know
they're gonna be in there for about 3 minutes. The gnocchis will come to a float.
Okay.
So you know, if you freeze them, they'll come to a float it'll take a little bit longer to come to a float.
Okay.
Now we're just gonna get some garlic going in here. Some cherry tomatoes.
Oh yeah.
Saute these. We don't really want a lot of color on them. We're going to be making an alla cake sauce today, so it's just going to be some chicken stock, white wine, salt, pepper, tomatoes, butter, and soft herbs.
Okay.
Some nice saute on those. Like I said, very light saute. We're going to come over here. We're going to deglaze with a little bit of white wine. As you can see, those are already starting to float.
A little bit. Pretty cool.
So I have a secondary pan here. It's screaming hot. You're going to see what I'm saying in a minute.
Yep.
So we're just going to get a little bit of white wine. And we just want a little bit of white wine. We don't want to make a wine sauce. We just want the white wine to kind of, you know.
Just a little hint of it in there?
Yeah, just to deglaze the pan just a little bit. So now that these gnocchis are starting to float.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I'm going to come over here. Look how hot that pan is. The oil automatically right away liquefies. Really nice. So come over here. I'm going to get these gnocchis. I'm going to drain the water off. We're going to turn off this back burner. Watch your eyebrows.
Oh, yeah.
Screaming hot. Woo! Doesn't stick. Nothing's sticking to this pan. So in this pan now, we're going to add a little bit of chicken stock. Some butter. I'm going to let that cook.
Oh, yeah. A little browning. I love that.
Yep. Nice little browning on that. We're gonna add our basil and chives right in there. Yeah, let's just dump it all in there, right down. We like
Love
those
it.
soft herbs.
More is more.
The more, the merrier. Right there. So give those a little flip. Let me see your action. All right.
Okay.
All right.
For a golf guy?
Not bad. I'm gonna come over here. We're gonna grab a little tasting spoon.
Thanks, sir.
Just get right in here. Nice,
Really good.
simple.
Mm-hmm.
Use a little bit of salt. Like that. Now that these are kind of seared off, I'm gonna go right in there.
Look at that dish, huh?
Like that. And then we're gonna go straight up Italian style, right in a bowl. Not in that bowl. I'm gonna go in this bowl. We're gonna get our spoon.
Oh, look at that.
That.
And these are going to taste even better because we made them, right? Isn't that how that works?
It does. The chef table I'm doing tonight's gonna love these gnocchis. They're gonna be like, "Who made these?" I'm gonna be like, "Don." Just like that. Let's grab a little bit of Parmigiano.
Little topper.
Topper on there.
Oh, yeah.
And then I have some breadcrumbs here, so I'm just gonna put them on there. And you can kind of garnish this with whatever you want. You know, it's very forgiving sauce. You can put whatever you want on there. You can even put like cheddar cheese if you want. You can just kind of really go to town. And yeah, this is it.
The fruits of our labor.
The fruits of our labor. Let's give it a kitchen
Cheers.
Kitchen seal of approval with our tasting spoons.
Damn good, buddy. Great work.
Let's go. Cheers.
Thanks, everybody.